Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. I'm coming back from Moses Lake shooting our Live to Learn, Learn to Live series with Edgar with Guardian Arms. More about that later. But right now, I am standing outside the beautiful Columbia River. I did not suit all the way up today because it is 101 degrees right now. But listen. Speaking of who's on fire, well, the Firearms Policy Coalition's on fire because they have been doing some significant ass whooping to the United States government, in particular as it relates to their new rules on frames and receivers. This now actually has the United States government crying uncle, basically asking for a timeout. They do need to take a breather. So today, let's spend a few minutes and get you all up to speed on when the government starts asking for a timeout from its ass whooping. Okay, so listen, the case we're talking about today is the case of Vanderstok v. Garland. It was a case in which the Firearms Policy Coalition successfully challenged ATF's Rule 2021R-05F, which is the rule on frames and receivers, ultimately achieving the remedy of vacatur, or basically, we're just going to wipe this rule out, forget about it, it doesn't exist. Now, the United States government has requested an injunction, a stay of that ruling so that they can get the appeal. Now, remember, if we're asking for a stay of the ruling, we have to demonstrate that there is irreparable harm and, of course, that the party who is asking for the stay is likely to prevail on the merits. Now, how on God's green earth could the United States government claim that they have irreparable harm from a court not allowing them to enforce an otherwise unconstitutional law? Well, this is what the pleadings state. Defendants also respectfully request an immediate administrative stay of the opinion and judgment to allow the court to consider this stay motion in an orderly manner. In the alternative, defendants respectfully request an administrative stay of no fewer than 7 days to allow defendants to seek emergency relief from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, and, just as important, to allow the Fifth Circuit to consider such a request in an orderly manner. In light of the serious public safety and other harms occasioned by the vacatur, as described more fully below, defendants respectfully request that the court rule on this motion or grant an administrative stay pending appeal by 10 a.m. Central Time on July 24, 2023, so that defendants may promptly seek appellate relief if necessary. If upon reviewing this motion, the court determines that defendants have not met the requirements for a stay, defendants respectfully request that this court summarily deny this motion without awaiting a response from the plaintiffs. Which is a fancy way of saying, hey, listen, we need you guys to do this. We need you at least to hit pause because we want to go upstairs. We want to go up to a higher court because we think you got it wrong. Now, is there any irreparable harm there? They said, well, due to the nature of this rule, we need to have it. What is the irreparable harm? What is the damage that the United States government is going to suffer here that's so grotesque that we need a stay? Well, the pleadings also state, with respect to ATF, the agency has devoted substantial resources to training and implementation related to the rule. Requitting the agency to adjust course would require the outlay of substantial additional resources, and it would particularly, given the possibility of future reversal on appeal, risk engendering significant confusion within the agency and law enforcement. Well, first of all, I can assure you that the ATF has no shortage of confusion as we speak, so that does not matter. But what they're basically saying is, hey, listen, we already trained everybody, and if we all of a sudden tell them, oh, well, you know what, forget about all of that, they're suddenly going to have to retrain people, and then these ATF agents who are already walking around in an utter state of confusion are going to be more confused. That is the substantial, irreparable financial harm that they're claiming. Now, what do they say about all of us, the lawful and responsible gun owners in the United States? This is how the United States government characterizes that. By contrast, plaintiffs will experience only minimal, if any, injuries from a stay of the vacatur pending appeal. Even with respect to the provisions that plaintiffs challenge, those provisions do not forbid the sale or purchase of any firearm, weapon, parts, kit, or other item. Instead, this rule clarifies that certain items, like ready-to-assemble kits, are firearms, and so must be sold in accordance with this Act's licensing, record-keeping, and background check requirements. Thus, plaintiffs who wish to purchase or sell regulated products may do so if they comply with this Act. Did you hear that? They're saying, listen, the plaintiffs have no real irreparable harm because they can still buy whatever they want. They just have to do it by our new rules. So essentially, what the United States government is arguing is that there is no irreparable harm to the plaintiffs if the defendants are allowed to continue to enforce an otherwise unconstitutional rule-making order. So as you can see, they are asking for a stay. If the court denies that stay, they are going to seek immediate review in the Fifth Circuit. Essentially, what is happening right now is the United States government is asking for a big old timeout from the ass whooping that the Firearms Policy Coalition has been handling them. The case, once again, is Vanderstok v. Garland. We're obviously going to keep following this, and if there are any other developments, you will be the first to know. Listen, in the meantime, if you guys got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to contact Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information is right down there in the description box. In the meantime, I do want all of you to remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, from the Columbia River, thanks for watching and stay safe.